4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.
Here I am, God damn it. Here I am. Welcome to the Romello Marcellus Show. I am he and he is me. Welcome to another edition. Tonight, man, is part 2 of Relationship Wars, man. We're going to delve off into some issues that we as people, a part of different partnerships, have when it comes to the art of war or engaging in war in our relationships. Usually the war we are actually fighting is against ourselves, but most of us in our narcissistic or sociopathic sensibilities or idiosyncrasies, we are not willing to recognize that. So usually when you have beef in a relationship, you get a bunch of back and forth. So there's no common ground. Neither parties are listening. And the war begins about getting my pound of flesh. So welcome to the Romello Marcellus Show once again. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me tonight. If you like this, man, click the box, man. Like it. Share it. Ask others to join the conversation, man. Where there are more, let's broaden the conversation. Let's broaden the conversation. Let's broaden the conversation. This is not my platform. This is our platform. You're welcome to be, do, and say whatever it is you want to do here, whatever you're feeling. Yeah, this is ours. And all conversations are open for discussion. There are no rules here other than no threats of bodily harm, especially the ones that you can't back up. So with that said, yeah, I was feeling some kind of way earlier when I had a conversation with some people about their relations and the things that they do in the midst of going through their issues with one another. Yeah, let's just let it ride out for a minute. Let a few people get into the room. I don't want to just jump right in. We got Kimberly Sweets 23 in the room. We got Lady Lala 411. We got the Realtor Reader in the room. Welcome. We're gonna let a few other people join the conversation, man. Make it interesting. But while y'all at it, man, let me just say this. Most times we fool ourselves going into relationships because we expect others to have the values that we have for ourselves. So here's what I say to that. Don't expect another motherfucker to hold the value to you that you should hold to yourself. Let me do that again. Don't expect another motherfucker to hold the value to you that you should hold to yourself, for you'll always be let down. The reason is that no one can feel for you the way that you do. Can anybody think or feel for you? So with that in perspective, expect all things that come to you within your relations are possible. You can't put anything past anyone. But by putting your best foot forward, if you have to exit, you've done everything that you could possibly do to be the best you could be in your situation to hopefully make it work. Well, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this, right? But let me put the topic up on Instagram first. Bear with me. There we go. And here we go. We're ready to put it up on the book here. Relationship Wars, Part 2. The art of war is what we're discussing this evening. The eventful things that drive you to do dumb shit in the midst of the battle that you're fighting. And it's a senseless battle a lot of times, because what people don't understand is when you consummate your relations, you're in a position where you become one because you're sharing that spirit, or sharing the spirit. The only reason it becomes a problem 9 times out of 10 is because there's another intervening spirit that's gotten in between you and your significant other. But what do you do when that happens? What do you do when you recognize that? One thing I do know, people always show you what they really feel about you in their actions, or lack thereof. The question is, what are you doing or going to do after you have that information? That is your power. Do you continue to receive things that are not conducive to you and your peace of mind, or your peace of spirit, or your self worth or self esteem, if that is what's being tapped into? I'll tell you one thing. It's hard for black men to share things about themselves to black women because of your narcissistic ways, damn it, and your constant self-defense. You sit idly by waiting for something to happen or the other shoe to drop so that you can use that very intel to gain ground and to take attention away from the bullshit that you do. That's my opinion. Feeling some kind of way, put it in the box. We can talk about it. It's healthy discussion. But yeah, that's what makes it hard for black men to deal with black women on so many levels. And yeah. One second. All right. Now, hopefully y'all can hear me clearly. Y'all can see me clearly. If you're just joining in, the topic of the evening is Relationships Wars, Part 2. The art of war. The art of war is those things that will push you to go put motherfucking sugar in your spouse's or your mate's gas tank, or scratch up their shit with a key, or sit their shit out on the curb, or come storming up their job, or a whole bunch of other shit. Someone says, anything disturbing to my spirit has to go. No one is worth my peace of mind. You know what? A lot of people say that, but they stand right there. Yeah. I'll tell you one. It's hard to deal with a motherfucker when you feeling deep inside that they don't want you. But at the same time, they tell you they do. But their actions show you something different. Even through the verbiage or the language that they use to talk to you or to communicate. Now, there's a key word. Communicate and communication. Most people are scared to be upfront about what their intentions are with the people that they're dealing with or with, because they don't want to potentially lose them. They want to have what they have in front of them as a space holder. But at the same token, they want to do them. That's some shit that will make you want to fuck somebody up. If you're going to do you, go do you. Make it clear what it is you want to do. Don't play with people. So, who we got in the room? Who's here with me tonight? So what do y'all feel, man? What is the most dirty and dastardly thing you've done while in the midst of a war in your relationship? Have you been unfaithful? Have you moved money? Have you hoarded money? Have you decided that you're not going to put out? Gone on strike? Not made time? What are some of the things that you've actually used to fight your war? In all actuality, why fight the war? Because understand that if you supposedly won, you're fighting yourself. So does that make you sane? Does that make you sane? I feel like this, man. When people have to defend themselves all the time, or actually have to question folks all the time, it's not you. Well, yeah, it's not you. You know the saying, when everybody around you is having the same issue with you, usually it's you with the issue. But you're the one complaining about it, right? So there's got to be some self-checking. Oh, Kimmy LaRue says no. What are you saying no to? You've never had that issue? You've never gone to war with anybody? I mean, we've all argued. See, a lot of this goes back to the unmarried black woman, which is really a thing. You know, y'all don't listen worth shit. Things you can't buy are the communication. Oh, it doesn't make you sane. Exactly. Yeah, it makes you crazy as fuck. What I understand is, you know, we all as humans, we love what we love and we like what we like. But is it love to be sleeping with the enemy when you know that this is how you're viewed? Is it? Because this is what's happening. I'll tell you what. The first fuck him or fuck her is usually the shot heard around the world. It goes from there. This thing right here, man, it's so much power in it. You have what you say you have. So if that's what you're really feeling, it's going to come to visit. It's going to roost. It's going to grow. Just like a fungus on a tree. Or on some nasty ass bread you left on your counter for 2 months. At that point, most of us are not willing to listen to one another. We just want to get our point across and point fingers and say, you wrong, and I'm right. You're wrong, and I'm right. It's childish. So where's the growth in that? You have to become better listeners, or we have to become better listeners. A lot of times when you listen, you get every answer you thought you'd have to any question you could ask. But most aren't willing to listen or learn. We want to speak our piece and be triumphant. Motherfucker. So who I got in here tonight? Who's in here with me? We should listen for understanding instead of for the sake of responding. Well, most of us do not listen for the sake of understanding because we're so defensive or always defending ourselves, i.e. black woman, that you don't want to hear anything other than what you feel. And we brothers, we do that too when we feel something. That's why I always say it costs us too much to feel something. To feel some kind of way. Yeah, black men too. Black men too. But it goes without saying, y'all won't let us be great. You're always in the damn way. Those that are putting in the work, that is. So the wars we fight. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Relationship wars. How dirty do you play? How dirty do you fight? You're a track star, so you're a runner.
I'll run. I'm a track star. I will run when things get tough. I'll run rather than risk hurting somebody or somebody hurting me. So I'm gonna be honest with that. I'm a track star.
Well, why run? I mean, if it's, I guess it's not worth salvaging. I mean, what? You can't have any common ground.
I guess I feel like if it comes down to me or the other person, I'm gonna save myself and I'm gonna run rather than subject myself to maybe some things I don't want to hear. Sometimes us women, we already know the answer to a lot of the things. It's like, oh, sit down and talk. Oh, confront for what? All you have to do is trust your instinct, and you already know some of the answers. A lot of times, when you actually hear the answers that you really don't want to hear, but you're forcing somebody to tell you, it can hurt and stick with you longer than some of the other type of pains that people do bring towards you. So
let me ask you this: is there redemption in truth? I mean, let's say if it is something that you don't want to hear, but you know the answer. Is it a redeeming quality in the truth that someone gives you? If that's what it is, if say, all right, you knew somebody was fucking around or whatever on you, and you had the answer, or you knew whatever that piece of evidence is, and they were honest about their position. I mean, did it happen? Would that be redeeming to you, or would that still mean, yeah, I got my track shoes on?
you know what? To me, it wouldn't mean a thing because you always look at the action itself. And then you wonder, why did it have to come down to this? Why did it have to come down to this? Why did we have to do this before you came to me, before you even did something wrong or did something against the relationship? I think that's what a lot of people look at. Like, why did you just come in the first place? We wouldn't have to be at the position that we are now. Would save so much. If the other person just said they had a certain issue, okay, keep it open. Let's talk about it. I may not like it then, but I really don't want to hear it after it's happened, and you already know what the answers is.
So how do you prevent that? Because it has to be something that drives it. I mean, if someone is, I'm a firm believer, if you're involved with someone, and there's some infidelity, before it rears its head, there's always the foundation being built through conversation or interactions through the people. It's not something that just happens, So what I'm saying to you is that what things do we do as opposed to, I'll speak something for me. One thing that would piss me off is poor communication. And it may sound chauvinistic, but there are different places for a man and a woman in the relationship. Okay? I stated this retrospectively. As a man, he should be leading and providing and keeping and protecting, right? Or doing the best to do those things that he can do. And when there is leadership, there's always an archy. Not to say that someone's controlling, but there has to be the dominant of the two, okay? But as a collective, you make those decisions together about things. But there has to be a common ground and a clean slate. I have been, you know, in certain situations in my past. Uh, Here's what I'll say. No one wants to be held accountable for something that someone else did to you. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to me, and vice versa. It's not fair to you to pay for something that someone else did before you. So whatever the isms that you have, whether they're distrust or respect issues or your self-esteem issues, whatever those things, that shit needs to be worked out before you engage someone who is really there to be a part of your better, better path or better forward future. Um, so when those things happen, you have a lot of miscommunication. And the one thing that you, in communications, that you should have in your relations is confidence. If you don't have the confidence that you can confide in your mate, then you'll seek that confidence elsewhere. You know, when they say sometimes it's therapeutic to confess your sins to a stranger because you can leave it there. But in most cases, the tongue is golden, especially when it's someone of the opposite sex that you begin to confide in, and they stroke you and tell you the things you need to hear. They pour that hot wax in your ear, and then you went off into some other shit, and home is in trouble. Home is over. So what I'm saying is, when you have issues like that, are you willing to wade through the water and really just sit down and have conversations, or are you one of those who say, well, this shit don't feel right, I'm gone?
Right. So I have two things I want to say to that about that. So, just in general, most of your topics of your show has been, talking about black women and black men relationships, both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say this, that as a black woman, all my 50 years that I've been here, I've been in love with a black man. You know what I'm saying? Dedicate myself and love myself to black men. And I just want to say, with what we're talking about as far as relationships and, what is it about a relationship that will really take you there? I just feel like dealing with black men, they don't tell the truth. And so often when you meet people, period, you ever notice how you really like somebody a whole lot when you first meet them? That's because you don't know a whole lot about them.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you get to know about the person, sometimes it'll make you almost feel like, okay, now I'm learning too much. I don't really like what I'm learning. But sometimes you already into it. So I just feel like you take the time out. Everybody is trying to take the time out to figure people out, to learn people. Some people don't even know that they have certain issues. I feel like they don't know it. They've been living a certain way all their life, and they think that is normal. Mm-hmm. And then when you get with them, or they or they get with somebody that's different from them, they may want to have a different life and a better life, and see, oh my God, it's more to relationships than what I've been doing. But a lot of times when people are so used to drama and so used to unhealthy relationship, they carry it around with them, whoever they're going to be with. And then you got to recognize that with people. Some people are who they are from childhood, the things that they went through. And as an adult, you can't change it. You might not be a psychiatrist enough to help them fix it. So you might see yourself falling into their trap, and you say, oh, I got to get up out of here, because both of us going to be crazy.
Right.
So then what?
You have to recognize that. I mean, sometimes you do have that, and I'll speak from a man's perspective. That's all I can offer. With retrospect, I covered it. As black women, you all have carried the gauntlet for so long that your expectations of people are so high that you don't stop to look at yourself. That do you really garner that expectation that you are demanding? of said individual. Now, not that you shouldn't have it, but sometimes you have to be willing to build it, to put your hands to it. And this is why you have people who are not willing to come to you and bear themselves up front to you about who they are and what the fuck they have going on, because they don't want to a lot of times deal with the thought of being short in their comings, you know, or less than, and that's a prideful thing. And as a black man, you should have some damn pride. Should everything else been taken from us? But on the flip side of that, there is a positive note that an individual is willing to say, hey, look, I want you to deal with me for the me that you come to know, not based on where I've been or what I've done and those kind of things, or what someone else may say and depict of me, and vice versa, because you have a past too. All of us do.
All of us do.
So, you know, it's like, you know how when you can see some shit and you can't unsee it. You can hear it and you can't unhear it. And when we meet people, we want to see the best in them. We want to see the good in them. So when the past comes into play, we feel like, okay, damn, you didn't tell me this.
Right.
When in all actuality, if you really think about it, you really didn't want to know it. You really wanted this person to be everything that you wanted them to be. In actuality, they are, but they just have that shit that they did or was about. The question is, what are they about today? You know, and I know sometimes, man, we look at it and it hurts that some, you know, hell, you might have a strong, decent guy, but hell, he smoked crack back in 90. He was a fucking junkie. He was whatever. But that's his past.
Right.
What is he doing today? Has he just his shoulders off? Is he gainfully employed? Is he, you know, is he living his best?
Now,
best
to that, I just want to say this. Kudos to black men, because I know a lot of black men that have been through the system, been through a lot in life, and they managed to find a way to reform themselves and to reform themselves in a way where they are great providers, great men. Yeah. They actually took classes and worked on themselves, you know? I feel like everybody at this point should be doing that. Yeah. Everybody should be taking class. Somebody should be getting help. Somebody should be seeking those things that in the night, in the dark, that keep you up at night, or that you know that in your past you have not really dealt with. You need to deal with it before you can even fall in love or even have a relationship with the next person. I think you would be doing yourself and the next person a disjustice if you don't go get that check. We like to go to the gym. You like to go buy this and go buy that. Go check into getting yourself some help, some mental help. Us black people, we both, men and women, we done been through a lot.
Yeah, PTSD.
On this turf here, this United States of America. Yep. Our ancestors done put what they went through on us too. So you gotta know by now, that's why we all probably are butting heads with each other. Because ain't nobody taking the time out to get the self-care from the trauma he had, the trauma she had. You know, and we trying to put it all together and can't form a solid family. Yeah. You can't build on a broken ground. You can only build on a solid ground. So we have to say, as a people, we are hurt, we are sick, we are unhealthy, and we may not be in a position for a lot of strong black men and strong black women to be able to have a relationship. We already proved a black woman can make money, 6 figures. Black man can make money, 6 figures, but we haven't proven yet that we know how to put it all together and not try to tear each other down in order to build something that can't nobody break apart.
Facts.
And then trust. The trust has to be there. Yeah. We need classes and we need therapy on trust alone with our black people.
Well, it's hard when
women,
we don't.
Children, everybody.
It's hard when most of us don't trust ourselves because of the individuals that we've been, and we see ourselves in the littlest things, and it makes us question everybody around us, which is not good. Especially when individuals haven't really given you any reason to question their integrity. So, yeah, man, I believe in that. You know, everybody has to really start
Yeah,
investing
and
in that self-care.
yeah,
That,
and I see that a lot of people are getting platforms now, and there's, and I see the black men, speaking. I feel like you guys, maybe not just you, but other people. I feel like they speaking at the black women instead of speaking to us, because black women, we come in all different shapes and sizes. But one thing about us, our hearts can hold a lot. Our hearts are big enough to love a whole bunch of people, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, and still sit you down and cook you a plate of food and love on you.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that our value system should not be about how much a woman make and what she look like, if her boobs is big and her butt is fat. That value system should not even be part of the deal when they say, oh, you want a 6-figure man? Well, you don't look like da 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 da.
Well, that ain't me.
Well, that's what they be saying.
That's a different show.
You gotta look like that. But okay, so 6-figure man, what are you looking like when you take your suit off and when you take your clothes off? What you looking like? Because I know a lot of 6-figure men that ain't in perfect shape, but they want what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they'll take what they can get as well.
Oh yeah.
But that don't mean that they not a good enough person to have on your team. So now what are we doing? Do we want somebody that looks good, or do we want somebody that's going to be there when the shake go down? And that ain't always the pretty looking one. Sometimes it's the busted looking one that's going to stand by your side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying.
Hey,
I'm just putting it out there.
Well, you've enlightened us. You very truly enlightened us. A lot of my brothers, I'm sure they're on here. They're just sitting there listening right now. They'll probably chime in when I get into this next part of this thing, because this second segment is about us and the shit we do. So, yeah, I don't come for people, man, that ain't sin for me. And if I sin for you, you better know I got you.
Right.
Yeah. So I thank you. I thank you for taking your time out to come on and enlighten us and give us some awesome sauce about understanding you as a black woman and so many others that are there. I don't profess to know everything. This is actually therapeutic for me, because I've been through some shit too.
Right.
And yeah.
And so what I'm saying is, us black women, when we take on a black man, you taking on more than just him. You taking on his past. You taking on him as he was a 6 and 7-year-old little boy. What happened to him then? You taking on everything that happened to him up till now. Mm-hmm. So we have to be strong in order to do that, because you guys are a whole nother type of breed. You walk around on this earth and you got people coming at you because you so want it. You want it from every aspect of the earth. And everybody wants a black man. Even the black man want the black man. You understand what I'm saying? So as black women, we are up against a lot just trying to be a woman and just trying to learn our place to where to love. Sometimes y'all be saying we do too much. We think we have to do so much.
Yeah.
We really don't. We really don't want to have to do all that. We just want to meet you wherever you are.
The difference is that when you're dealing with a mangina, that's the ones you got to do too much for. Alpha, he don't want to hear that. He don't. A real man needs to be needed. Period. That's his position. He's a provider. He's a keeper. He's a protector. When that shit's gone and you too much of a fucking man, why does he need to be around? And there's communication. It's not what you say; it's how you say it.
So let me ask you this. So if you have a black man that you want to love and you want to learn and you want to make a future with, and he's not truthful about himself. Sometimes I think they don't even understand their own self. Let alone you ask them, why are you doing this and what are you doing that for? They really don't have a real answer to. So my question is, how do you love through that? How do you keep going forward with somebody who really don't even understand themselves? Is that the time when you need to check out your own self and leave, so you can save yourself from going through what they're gonna put you through because they don't understand why they doing what they're doing?
Unless the motherfucker's insane, he understands himself. The question
Okay.
is, it goes back to the 7 and 8 year old boy. Usually the truth got him an ass whooping. Okay,
Mm.
so you have that from a simp mangina who has that same position that ain't gonna stand for his own shit. He don't want to tell you the truth because he don't want to get chastised or chastened by you. He don't
Okay.
want to give you the power to further put a thumb on him because shit, he's already pressed out as it is with the rest of his life. So where he's going, you know, he's gonna play dress up, with it,
Okay.
as opposed to sharing it with you and knowing that, at the end of the day, if he's telling you, look, I'm fucked up. Now what? The
Right.
ball's in your court. You want me or not?
Yeah.
Here's a list of things that I bring to the table, but this and this and this is not in line right now. Here's my plan to get it. This is what I'm doing. You fucking with me or you're not. And if you are, then cool. But most people that are not sure of themselves or have that syndrome, they're not going to be forthright with your forthcoming. And then a lot of times, you have old habits that die hard, and I can only speak for me. Um, what I was into and had been into for a long while, you know, I was always as a need to know. So I don't walk around just spouting out the things and the thoughts that I have in my head as my plan is this is what I'm doing today. If I lay a regimen as to what I do, I get up, I read, I pray, I go to work or whatever I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. Anything extra, if it's an afterthought or a thought in the midst of it, when it's time to share it, yeah, I don't have a problem sharing nothing about it if I'm fucking with you because honestly for me, if I'm with you, you need to know where I'm at anyway, especially in this day and age because people are turning up dead, people are turning up hurt, missing, a whole bunch of shit, and loved ones don't know where the hell they are for 3 and 4 days at a time. So yeah, if I'm out moving about, you need to know where the fuck I am, what I'm doing, and that's it. That's all. That's just me. But a lot of people are not. A lot of males are not like that. Someone asked, what would make an alpha male lie? Omission is the same as lying. You know, I can't speak for any other alpha male. I can speak for me. That's like fronting. Ain't no future in it. So you gotta put what's on the line with whoever you with. They gotta either accept. Either way, they're gonna accept it. Whether they fuck with you or not, they gotta receive it. Whatever your truth is, you know. And that's just that. That's just me. I can't speak for anyone else. So there.
I have a question. It's a little bit off the subject, but it's basically dealing with the black men and black women. So my question is, do you think it's fair to say that we need to form some type of um, alignment with one another as black men and black women, period, beyond dating? And when I say beyond dating, I mean first become friends and love each other like we are. Not making love, but love each other like we are. Because I feel like it's a lot of black men and a lot of other women feel the same way that don't even like black women anymore. Y'all will tolerate us, but you don't like us.
Well,
And I say that to say it's the camaraderie between black women and black men is not there anymore. I don't know if it's just because of COVID or um,
that's by
I
design.
can say I can remember a time when it would be a bunch of black guys get together and they would say, let's call up some girls, let's call the women over here, let's
Mm-hmm.
chill with the ladies. Now you hear a lot of men like, oh, I'm ready to hang with my boys, I'm ready to hang with my men, we going this, that, that. They're not even inviting the women anymore. Like,
Well, let me
so
say this to you.
I feel like that's having us
Let me put
really
this out there
separate.
to you like this. When you grow up and you become a man or a woman, you put childish things away. I ain't hanging around no bunch of niggas. If I got a woman, I'm hanging with her.
Okay.
That's just me. Or I'm gonna be somewhere doing something constructive to better myself. if I'm with some, well, my homies, we talking about some money. We talking about some sort of thing we can do to prosper ourselves or to better those around us. And, you know, for all intents and purposes, I fought the federal government with my homies. We lost, but then we won. But at the same time, these are the kind of people that I'm, you know, willing to do things with, and they understand if we don't see each other for months at a time. You got families, you got children, you got a life to lead. Hey, it's what it is. But if I called any one of them, trust me, believe me, they gonna come and they gonna handle business for whatever I need them to handle business for, and vice versa. And that's based on our life's history. We were willing to lay down our lives for each other as men, you know. So real men, they don't put their families aside to go hang out with homeboys and shit like that. Nah. I mean, I get it every now and again. You should have a moment for yourself, but when you're locked into something, that's where you need to be. Period. Unless you have that discussion to say, all right, baby, can I get a hall pass? And you get a pass to go and your ass home by midnight, kind of shit.
Right.
So no, that's not.
But do you see what I'm saying
Yeah, I
about
see
we
exactly
need
what
to
you're saying.
learn how to love each other again? Because I feel like that we such at odds with one another.
Yeah, but the friendship thing is this: you have to look at the way we were raised, and it's different. Where we taught as young men that unless you grew up with a woman, you can't have a woman as a friend. Period. It's somebody you're approaching and you're trying to be with or get at, and vice versa. You have most sisters out here that if a brother speaks to her, oh, you want something from me, you know, and that's that. You can't just say, hey,
Hey, yeah.
that's it. That's all. I don't want shit from you. I just spoke, cause motherfucker, you on my. Even with these platforms, you got people that are you got over 2,000, 3,000 people that you may or may not know, or are friends of friends. If you got a business, you market your business. But if not, then cool. But shit, you better not say hi, because shit, you want something,
Yeah.
you know. But that's bad that we have come to that pass with that. Someone said we genuinely have to love ourselves first, and I get that. That in itself projects the self-worth. You know, knowing that I can just be a friend to you. I can just be a friend to this person, and that's it. There's nothing else to it, you know. But man, we too far gone.
We too far gone.
Too far gone. Got too many doors, too many windows open. You know, people are always professing things and pouring stuff in each other's ears and whispering, and we get fucked up because we don't feel something about ourselves. So we watching the next joke, or we counting his money or her money, or what we think that is their money, and then really ain't their money. So it's a lot of stuff going on. So I just say that you know, communication is key, and try to catch yourself in the middle of the war, because a lot of times, man, when you shoot a shot across the bow, you can't pull that shot back. And if you want your relationship or you want your friendship, you have to be stronger than the average and not shoot that shot across the bow. And hopefully this person that you are interested in will come around and cooler heads will prevail, and you'll have some healthy dialogue. Kenny LaRue, she's on here, she said, I've learned the truth, the greatest instrument of communication in relationships, that's the truth, is the greatest. Real Aquarius, she was saying that, you know, you had to ask the question. She said, good question. You know, a lot of people have joined the room since we're on, and I just want to welcome you all. The topic tonight is relationship wars. It's the art of war. How do you fight against or for your relationships? Because a lot of times you, in a duality, there's always going to be one fighting for the relationship, and always going to be one that thinks they're fighting for the relationship but actually fighting against it for whatever they're feeling, whether it's distrust or whatever their angsts are. So you have to be willing to be patient with that individual and not do things to further push them or control them, you know. And ladies, when you're dealing with brothers, you got to know they're afraid of you anyway. I don't give a shit how hard a joker is. He's afraid of losing himself to you. He's afraid of giving him heart. You know, he's afraid to lose. You know, and then expose himself. Listen to me. You measure a man by how he relates to his mother, and then how he treats himself. If he loves his mother, he will love you like he loves his mother, and he will treat you better or as good as he treats himself. It may take some time to get to that, but it's like the blow pop. How many licks did it take to get to the center? Keep on licking, you know. But once you get there, you get the gum, you get the treat. You know, it's just what it is. Only some flim-flamming ass brothers are gonna play the game with you and sell you these fantabulous dreams and not come and tell you exactly what it is. I need to help me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not what I was 5, 6, 7, whatever years ago. You understand? I need somebody to understand that a lot of my aspects of my life are different now. You know, I'm having to pull this shit out of the mud. I don't have an you know what? You got to get the book. God damn it! I don't have an expendable income anymore. So I'm just saying that for what it is, for all intents and purposes of this conversation tonight, you can't be everything that you need to be to your man if he doesn't let you know where he ends and begins. Period. And it becomes your choice at that point to say, I respect this person or this individual's character and letting me know their truth. So there. So you have a, I guess you have a measure or a gauge.
I just want to say this. You may not be the same person that you was 6 or 7 years ago, but you are still that man, and you always will be, okay? You still him, with or without the income. You never needed that in the beginning. You always was brilliant. And the brilliance that you have weighs more than the cash that you ever held, so understand that.
I receive it. I receive that.
Real talk. That's real talk.
That. But the grace of God that I'm here. But the grace of God that I'm here. You know, I'm moved in my spirit to do something, and I hope I don't offend anyone. If y'all can hold on a second, right? Can y'all give me a second? Can y'all give me 1 second?
Go ahead.
Father God, I thank you for lifting us up today, Lord. Allow us to see this day. I ask you to bless every ear, every head, every eye that is in and on this platform this night. Bless their families, Lord. Bless them from the top of their heads to the sole of their feet, Lord. Cover them in your blood, Lord. Let no hurt, harm, or danger come to them as they travel the highways and the byways, Lord. Fill their cupboards, fill their coffers, Lord. Let their thoughts and their minds soar to no limit, Lord. Let their thoughts and their minds come to fruition to be blessings to others as well as themselves, Lord. Give them all the things and the desires of their heart as you said you would, Lord. Let their hands, everything that they touch, prosper. Let it grow. Let their harvest come in, Lord. Let them not bear any sour or ill fruits, Lord. Let them be examples. Let them be providers and keepers and protectors of their own. Lord, let them be loosed of any ill thoughts, any distrust or discourse that they have in their hearts and their minds. I pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Now, the art of war, how are you fighting? Are you fighting against or for? That's the question. Someone said people who love themselves know how to show love and compassion. A compassionate person embodies compassion. Love, compassion, and peace are not attributes that can be turned off. Peace, peace, King, peace, peace, Queen. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you coming on. Please, if you like this platform, please share it. Invite others, man, to this platform. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Anytime. Yeah. If you are here, man, like I said, share it. Share this live, man, to your other people that are out here. Let's broaden the conversation. How are you fighting? Are you fighting for or against? That's the question. Are you fighting for or against? Are you fighting for or against? nobody's perfect. I made a whole lot of goddamn mistakes in my life, man. In my travels and my relations, I made a whole lot of mistakes. I ain't perfect, even to this day. But if I have to fight, I'm gonna fight forward. You know, until I can't see anything else. The only thing that would stain that, or distinguish that, or extinguish that fight, or that fire to fight, is infallibility. So, yeah. Cuss me, fuss me, whatever. Shit happens sometimes. It's just what we do. Dogs shining on, sun shining on a dog's ass someday, right? Yeah. So, we got some people in here, man, that just came in the room. Welcome, MS08, Real Aquarius 789 has joined the room. It's the Quay. Welcome. Kimmy LaRue. Colonel Lily 64 is in the room. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Pisces 1977 is in the room. Lisa Hewlers 517 is in the room. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Wow. You know, all I can say is that keep fighting a good fight. Whatever you're doing, whatever your fight is. And yeah. Hopefully it'll go your way. Yeah, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here with me tonight. But you know, gotta go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellus Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring 'em out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.